Chairman Galloway and members of the Park Board, thank you for joining us this evening as we honor the City of Des Moines Parks and Recreation volunteers. This past year in 2010, we faced incredible challenges in the Parks Department, from winter storms followed by ice and then flooding and rains. Many of our large events that utilize volunteers had to be canceled or rescheduled. But one thing stayed true during all of these challenges: our volunteers' dedication to our programs. They helped haul out trees, cleaned up after flooding, and even in tough economic times, continued to give of themselves to our community, handing out toys to children in need, bringing smiles to the faces of many on Halloween, protecting our historical treasures in our cemeteries, and much more. They continue to offer us so much and enrich our department in so many ways that cannot be measured. Today we honor over 1,300 volunteers who donated around 8,200 hours of service, with a value of over $171,000. First, we'd like to give special recognition to 3 individuals who've been committed to our department and to our volunteers for many years: Russ Starr, Scott Wallace, and Jane Hein. Russ Starr has shared his humor and hard work ethic with our department for 38 years, many of those at the Grandview Golf Course, and the last 2 years in East Zone Parks. Russ has been committed to his job and the people he served. He even lived on site at the park residence and was so involved with Grandview Park that the neighbors would often come up and knock on his door to chat. Russ spent countless hours working with the neighborhood groups to build relationships, planning on volunteer projects such as cleaning up 4 Mile Creek, and on special projects such as Earth Day Trash Bash, where almost 1,200 volunteers beautified our city. Whether it was cleaning up an illegal dump in a neighborhood pocket park or meeting on a Sunday evening with gardeners, he has been committed to achieving the mission of our parks. Join me in thanking Russ Starr for his years of service.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, Russ, and thank you very much.
You bet.
Scott Wallace has been described by the Des Moines Founders Garden Club, a volunteer group active on the west side, as, quote, one of the best Greenwood Park managers they've worked with. He has always been available for consultations, advice, and getting projects completed. Scott has shared his loyalty, patience, and friendly smile with our department for 38 years. Many of those years were at Waveland Golf Course, and the last 2 years in West Zone Parks. Scott spent countless hours working with volunteers, such as the Rose Garden Advisory Committee and Miles Mills, Des Moines Founders Garden Club, Citizen Golf Committee, and volunteer neighborhood associations that beautify our parks and streetscapes. Scott has worked hard to build relationships with all of our volunteers and stakeholders, fostering support of our parks and golf courses. Join me in thanking Scott Wallace for his years of service.
Congratulations, Scott, and thank you very much. Thank you, Bill.
Jane Hein, as president of the Friends of Des Moines Parks, has easily volunteered more than 1,000 hours of her time building membership, writing newsletters, organizing meetings, coordinating events, raising funds, and establishing the foundation for a successful nonprofit support group. Through Jane's support, they've provided swim lessons for underprivileged youth, printed new trail maps, supported nature clubs connecting youth and their families to the outdoors, sponsored free flicks, yoga in the park, and Earth Day Trash Bash, bringing citizens into our parks, increasing the health of our community and protecting our resources. Jane could not be here this evening, so she will be accepting at a park board meeting at a later date. Russ, Scott, and Jane have each endured growing pains, reorganizations, and challenges along the way, but they have all continued to demonstrate what great leadership is. Des Moines Parks and Recreation would again like to honor and thank each of you for the gift of your times and talents. This year, we honor Robin Leeper with the Volunteer Supervisor of the Year Award. Always prepared, Robin has been an outstanding volunteer supervisor who clearly defines her needs. Whether it is for events such as Mayor's Annual Bike Ride, where she coordinates and manages volunteer help to register riders, staff rest stops, or serve lunch, or at events such as Earth Day Trash Bash, Carp Festival, Hershey's Track Meet, Run for the Egg, Free Flicks, Father-Daughter, and more, she has gone above and beyond, making sure volunteers feel welcomed and the experience is enjoyable, which brings them back. Robin has always taken the initiative with her special events volunteers, including following up to recognize them for their service. She has represented the department well over the 2010 year and even took on the extra task of helping with the coordination and management of the overall program while I was on maternity leave. Please join me in honoring Mrs. Robin Leeper as the 2010 Volunteer Supervisor of the Year. Tonight, we honor Wells Fargo as the Corporate Volunteer Group of the Year. Wells Fargo has committed to the City of Des Moines Parks and Recreation Department on so many levels, from financial contributions for Earth Day Trash Bash to dedicating corporate volunteers in areas such as Prospect Park. Their community and environmental leadership is outstanding. The Wells Fargo volunteers picked up litter at several of our parks, helped restore our lilac arboretum, hosted our children's Halloween party, and set up our Toys for Tots distribution at Pioneer Columbus Community Center. They continue to provide for our parks, our recreational facilities, and our community. Tonight we have Russ Cross and Catherine Murphy representing Wells Fargo. Please join me in honoring Wells Fargo as the 2010 City of Des Moines Parks and Recreation Corporate Volunteer Group of the Year. Thank you. House of Mercy was selected for the 2010 Volunteer Group of the Year Award. Throughout the year, they have volunteered over 100 hours transplanting plants in our greenhouse, cleaning up litter, helping at the cemeteries, winterizing the rose garden for the second year, and planting thousands of bulbs in downtown Des Moines to prepare for spring. House of Mercy comes prepared, has excellent supervision, and dedicated workers. They help provide us a service while allowing these young women to gain new skills while giving back. We recognize House of Mercy for their commitment to our community, our cemeteries, and our parks. Tonight we have Brandy Dakin representing House of Mercy. Please join me in honoring House of Mercy as the 2010 Volunteer Group of the Year. Candy Drost was selected for the Volunteer of the Year Award for being a phenomenal garden leader at the Franklin Community Garden. She took over leadership starting in March 2010 and since then has put in numerous hours providing strong leadership to the 180 plot holders of the garden. A skilled communicator, Candy's professionalism and dedication to her fellow gardeners was a great asset to staff. She took ownership right away and led the effort, creating 60 new plots, orienting each new plot holder to the rules and processes of the garden. Candy coordinated garden resources such as manure, compost, and wood chip requests and excelled in relationship building. A key component in leading a community garden with such a variety of gardeners, including those with young families, immigrants, teenagers, seniors, and many first-time gardeners. To create more of a sense of community with the gardeners, she sent out frequent email communications, had a garden bulletin board put up, scheduled community work days, garden classes, seed swaps, and planting of a new community raspberry patch, just to name a few. Thank you, Candy, for stepping forward and being an ambassador to our community. Tonight, helping present this award to Candy are Scott Wallace, former manager of the park, Tiva Dawson, who coordinates community gardens, and Donna Vinda, co-garden leader. Tonight, we honor two very deserving people with Lifetime Achievement Awards, joining previous Lifetime Achievement Award winners Suzette Jensen and Joe Galloway. Our first honoree is Woodland Cemetery's volunteer citizen historian, Gerald LeBlanc. Dubbed the Director of Restoration and Tours by the Des Moines Register, Mr. LeBlanc has volunteered 17 years researching cemetery history and supporting numerous restoration projects and memorials honoring the former citizens buried here. He has led many cemetery tours over the years, educating the public and encouraging protection of these unique historical treasures. Gerald was born in 1930, the son of the owner of a monument company located on the city's northeast side. Gerald developed a passion for monument restoration and cemetery history as a teenager working for his father, identifying new monument locations at Woodland Cemetery. His enthusiasm for our cemeteries has driven him to seek funding for projects such as Denman Fountain restoration, headstones for pioneer infants, cleaning of the veteran stones at Glendale Cemetery, the Glendale Abbey, and memorial benches for veteran areas. Thank you, Gerald, for your leadership and passion for our cemeteries. We end this evening with our second Lifetime Achievement honoree, Pauline Doris Oline. But it is with a heavy heart that I must tell you that Pauline died peacefully at home this past week. A few days ago, we presented her award and some of our thoughts at her funeral, but we are honored tonight to present it again in front of her friends, family, and in the entire city of Des Moines. Pauline was born in 1924 in Winterset, Iowa, and moved to Des Moines in 1943. Good-natured, spunky, and upbeat, Pauline Oline's enthusiasm was contagious. She had this internal energy that literally radiated out of her. She was funny and warm, and immediately when she entered the room, her spirit would fill the air. People were drawn to her. Pauline, a grandmother and professional clown, was active in her community and neighborhood for years. PDO on the go is what she always said with a laugh, and on the go she always was. What a giving spirit. She volunteered thousands of hours in our community. She and her husband started Lawson's Photography. She was president of Highland Park Business Women's Club in 1960, was active as a master gardener and part of the Foresters. Pauline, also known in the clown world as Ollie, brightened the lives of so many, including children and veterans, for around 30 years as part of the Corn Patch Clowns. She took an active leadership role in the Capitol East Neighborhood Association and the Walnut Trace Green Space, including being in the first graduating class of the Des Moines Neighborhood Leadership Academy. In the greenhouse, each year she arrived with a smile on her face, ready to help transplant over 350,000 annuals. She helped wherever she was needed, from transplanting to recruiting new volunteers. When the flowers were done growing in the greenhouse, she helped rally the neighborhood troops to use them to beautify public spaces in her neighborhood parks. She never stopped. Pauline knew how to give to her community through beautification, community improvement, and safety awareness. Although we've tried to share with you how special she was, there truly are not enough words to describe what a remarkable woman she was. Thank you, Pauline, for sharing your sunshine and your spirit and yourself in so many ways with the city of Des Moines. The city and each of us is better for having known her. Thank you for touching so many lives. Thank you for being a volunteer, a mother, a clown, and a leader. Thank you for being you. We will miss you and hope you're here again tonight with us as we honor you again, helping present this award this evening. Are Jean Murray and Sarah Mullihan from the City Greenhouse, and accepting on her behalf is Pauline's brother, Gene Parkins. Please join me in honoring Pauline Oline with the 2010 City of Des Moines Parks and Recreation Volunteer Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you again to everybody, to all of our special award winners and volunteers for an outstanding year of service, and to the Park Board. We look forward to another exciting year in 2011.